If you're a live music fan always on the lookout for the next big sound, CapZeyeZ is your new monthly Thursday night plan. One Thursday a month, CapZeyeZ brings you live original music performances from the coolest unsigned bands, right from the awesome stage at Kick Butt Coffee. From heart-thumping rock to weird indie stuff, Kick Butt Coffee is the home for new and established acts taking the music scene by storm. Tune in, turn up, and turn on the unheard beats of Austin's most promising talents. CapZeyeZ, your front row ticket to music's best-kept secrets. Music is the only truth. Seen weekly on Mondays at 7 p.m. on Austin's public access channel 10.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to CapZeyeZ. We are here at Kick Butt Coffee for another exciting episode with an old friend, Frank Mustard Project Spotlight today. So we're going to sit here and talk to the leader and see if it pleases Frank today. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be back, but right now we're going to start the show with music from the Frank Mustard Project, taped live at Kick Butt Coffee.
Thank Dave and Kick Butt. It's the Frank Mustard Project.
Yeah, I know you own something, I know you need something. You see me standing there, and only you can touch it, and only you can touch it, and only you can touch it. I know you own something, I know you need something, I know you own some of me. I know you're thinking nothing, I know you're feeling nothing. You see me standing there, and only you can touch it, only you can touch it, and only you can touch it. I know you're thinking nothing, know you're feeling nothing, I know you want some of me. Only you can touch it, and only you can touch it. I know you want something, I know you need something, I know you want some of me. You're thinking nothing, I know you're feeling nothing. You see me standing there, and only you can touch it, only you can touch it, and only you can touch it. I know you're thinking nothing, know you're feeling nothing, I know you want some of me.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? You're watching CapZeyeZ. Welcome to it. What is CapZeyeZ? Well, it's a Texas music program that has been banging its head against the wall since the 90s, and even a little before if you want to get real historic about it. But I have had this passion for local music ever since I saw local music, and it's nothing like going out and seeing a band, looking them in the eyes and seeing that they mean it, instead of going to your big dome of choice among 15,000 other people and going, "Hello, Austin, it's great to see you tonight." No, I'd rather look this band in the face and see if they mean it, and if it goes well, how everybody does with it, and more importantly, when it doesn't, how everybody deals with that. So CapZeyeZ brings you local talent. If you are in a Texas band and you want to get on the show, I'm easy to reach. The website's got all of my contact info. Would love to have you on. Even if you have a music video you want us to play, just send her on out and we'll take care of it. We'll get at least a dozen eyes on it, I swear. Yeah. So today, as I mentioned, we're showcasing the Frank Mustard Project, which we were able to catch up live at Kick Coffee. We do a show here once a month, and we bring it to you on Austin Public. Shows on Channel 10, and we're on Mondays at 7. I've tried all over the map. We're trying this now. So get your news on, get your dinner done, kick your feet up, check out some Texas music. So I've known him for a while here, Mr. Frank Mustard Project. And
I've known you longer, but you've known me for a bit now.
Absolutely. You know? He's evolved, shall we say.
I have absolutely evolved.
Tell us,
I'm
like,
now
history.
Out of my room and in public.
Yeah,
you know? So,
exactly. No mannequins?
Well, it's been a process, you know. Having been around Austin for a long time, there's actually a few different versions of what Frank Mustard might be. And currently, I got a couple guys that have been super. They've known each other a long time, which is kind of a wonderful dynamic because they already know how to communicate. And they basically take in Frank Mustard material, then try to churn out, you know, what it feels like to them. And so it becomes who you play with. Mm-hmm. And right now, I got Steven Anderson and John Bello, and they're old friends. They're from Oklahoma, which we don't hold against them. No. And
keeps Texas on the map because Oklahoma sucks, right?
Yeah, well, you know, it's possible. All I know is that they've been good guys. They've been down here also a long time. And we've been trying to tear it up. Got here to the Kick Butt with you was wonderful. We've been trying to get up here, and to be able to do it with your show was fantastic. We were playing around a little bit, done a little bit of recording. We recorded with Chris Burns at Old Wheel Studio, which is Ray Benson's old place down on Manchac.
That's awesome.
And so that was fun. We got maybe even this Saturday, an instrumental single called Cantankerous Fibers. I think is going to maybe make the airwaves out of Boulder on a radio show up there. So we've been doing what we can do, and it's a new Austin, but at the same time we're still kicking, and there's a lot of music.
The music that you have been playing, I see a lot of it has been online. You've had it yourself. I will assume this is solely written by yourself.
Yes. The idea with Frank Mustard is that I had come to Austin like many people and played, I guess, as a sideman, and even just studied bands and I don't know. I go way back. I even did light for Mr. Fabulous and Casino Royale for almost a year, who's Dino Lee of fame. He's a character.
Yeah.
So honestly, with Frank Mustard and all of that, I mean, I'm even borrowing some of those ideas, which means that he didn't go out as Dino Lee, he came out as Mr. Fabulous and Casino Royale. And so, it became the change of a band, just another band in Austin, to now an entertainment and persona. And so, like, I kind of held on to some of those ideas with what Frank is do you really want to go sell, some goob, or do you want to start to become entertaining, and
absolutely.
And what do people want, well, they want to have a fun time, and then at the end of the day, it's still got to please Frank, so, it's finding that middle ground of really enjoying music and also trying to be entertaining in a way that's a little, it's not so much, hey, I'm a rock star, look at me. I'm writing songs, playing instruments, but we're not trying to shove it down your throat. It's still
unlike Dino, who will shove it down your throat.
Throw anything down your throat is apparently. But that's Austin. There's so much going on, and you either kind of join it, or then you start to create it. And I felt at a certain point I wanted to start creating it. There's so many good guitar players. There's so many good musicians. I didn't like the idea of trying to get into some kind of like, roots competition. I wanted and having gotten to meet some of my, I guess, idols, growing up and I worked with Junior Brown, and then that brought a lot of opportunities over the years to meet a lot of, big time people. But you just all of a sudden you're talking to Dick Dale, or you're talking to whoever. I was able to get Buddy Miles involved with Junior, and like it's cool stuff. Yeah. So by doing that, you really start to see, I don't know if the difference is the right word, but just a full big league entertainer and what they're providing versus just like a local musician who's trying to do a little picking or something. So it was, how can I mash up all of these experiences, and that's kind of what Frank Mustard has become. It's everything. It's not a genre, and I think that was the tough part in Austin. Is it's easy to just fall in the genre, and which I love, different music, but it's not about not liking it. It's just about what am I gonna put my energy into in my playing. And a lot of downtown has changed, as you know, and I know a lot of the old record stores that we would have gone to are like a Jamba Juice or something, and Juice is good, but and records. Noodles, I was complaining we did a Hole in the Wall show recently, and I was talking to this guy about, because I used to live in the area, and I was talking about, this used to be this wonderful record store, and now they do noodles, and he's like, noodles are good, and I was like, well, okay, it is a nice corner today, and noodles are good, but there used to be like 6 record stores in a stone's throw on that corner, and
When did you start playing music? Was it guitar? How did your music evolve?
Started playing guitar. I was probably, 14, 15, and got a proper guitar probably around 15 for Christmas. No one played where I was from. My family didn't play, but my folks and my dad loved music. I mean, now, but it wasn't a thing to do.
Yeah.
And would go see shows. And he grew up, but by the time he got into college and then grew older, he enjoyed blues. We're from Illinois, and it was still a viable thing. There were still actual people, that had grown up doing that. So you'd see Lonnie Brooks, and then he had his kids, Ronnie and I guess Wayne would come with him, and we'd go to Champaign, and they would play the Blind Pig. We'd go to Champaign and see Little Ed and the Blues Imperials, a lot. Yeah. And Little Ed would walk the bar, and do his thing. He's fantastic. Yeah. It's the same band.
Yeah. That's wild.
That's wild. I'm pretty sure it's the same band still, and that was, the early '90s or whatever. Right?
Totally.
It's still doing it. So it came out of blues. I played blues. We got to play with a guy named Eddie Snow, and the Snowflakes. I was the Snowflake, and he was from Memphis. He's a piano player. He was a much older person at that time, but he was the first one who called. From having done blues jams and stuff, Blue Mondays and everything, and he asked me to do a little playing before I moved down here, and that was the bulk of my experience. And then you hit Austin, and it takes a minute. You try to figure out what is going on, because I lived down the street from Antone's at that time. That was up on Guadalupe, and it was 18 and up.
Yep.
So I think the Moeller brothers were the house band at that point. Tried to go up there with them, convinced them, didn't want to do it, and I just got obliterated by Johnny Moeller. I don't think he remembers, but good Lord, I'm glad he doesn't, because it was embarrassing. It was a wake-up call. And so then even that was like, boy, I don't know. Blues should be the thing that I continue trying to do.
I enjoy all of the places we've grown up with that have gone away. I also focus on what's here today. Let's talk about what's here today much more than we talk about what used to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's been a move, like I know with Chris Burns, you know, and his outfits, and they were talking about how it's still happening. I mean, they have the places, and it's still here. It's just, you just have to roll with it, and it's going to change. And I mean, the world has changed. It's not going to be stagnant. And that's the thing about music, is it can't be stagnant. Otherwise, it all starts to get stale and boring, and nobody wants to go see the same old show anyways.
So you do a monthly show now?
Yes. We the fourth Saturday of the month at the Hi-Hat Public House. Steve has been wonderful and lets us do our thing, really. It's a great room. They have wonderful food, which, you know, for older people who want to go out and catch a little rock and roll and, you know, have a little sustenance with their booze, I suggest the Hi-Hat. Even if you're in the know, there's a little parking there too, but we're going to keep that between ourselves so that doesn't get out.
He said he'd let me know.
Yeah, I'm going to let Dave know, but that's it. Other than that, it's, what is it? It's down East 6th, you know, at the end. But it's a great spot, and so we'll be doing that the rest of the year.
And you curate the lineups?
Yeah, I've been doing it. Yeah, that's kind of the thing I've noticed a lot with Austin these days, is if you can get a night, and if you can help put it together, that'll help tremendously, instead of, you know, relying on the booker who's inundated with, still these days, probably hundreds of emails a day. And who are they all, you know?
Would you say that's something that's changed from, I don't know, 15 years ago, where I'll just say it this way, in my experience, let's go back even 15 years ago, the people who booked the venues knew who drew which crowd, what night, where they belonged, and they would typically build that lineup themselves.
Right.
Whereas
like
today,
a curator.
Yes.
Yeah.
And today, that's on the band. They're like,
It's
we'll give you a
100%
Saturday and let me know who's playing, right?
Yes, that's 100% correct. You know, part of the evolution of continuing to play is having taken on more roles than would have been a thing when I started out.
Yep.
It kind of started out was like, maybe you wrote the songs, you got a band together, get an outfit together, and show up. But really, at this point, I'm doing everything, and then it's like, where do you draw the line? You know, because and that's kind of where Frank Mustard comes too. Is I started looking at it as, is this even music, or am I just starting to? Should I just make a show?
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like, man, let's just make it a show, and we'll make it not even a podcast. We'll make it like a YouTube show.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm something you put I can't decide, and it's so friend, you're from a one-track mind. 'Cause I don't do the right thing when I see your way. I'll do the right thing when I see your So I'm the one's right. You can you synthesize, you know that it's so thrill. You're from a one-track mind. 'Cause I'll do the right thing when I see your way. I'll do the right thing when I see your way. Can you sympathize even that I'm so afraid from all one-track mind? 'Cause I'll do the right thing when I see your way. I'll do the right thing when I see your way.
Growing up in like high school, there wasn't phones. We would sit in the basement and do improv fake shows to a non-existent camera. You know what I mean? So like, what's the difference? We may as well just, just get a camera and start doing it for real. But I mean, that's what we used to do. It was silly, and you would just maybe you just cop an English accent. Next thing you know, we have a talk show. You know what I mean?
I grew up watching, the Blue Jean Network and like the Midnight Special and long form concerts on USA Network for me. I mean, there were various places, but that's kind of what pushed the buttons on like making video. I was like, I love to watch a band. If I can't see them, if they're not coming to my town. I grew up in Llano. Nobody came to Llano. Mind you, I did see Ernest Tubb in Llano, but not many people came to Llano.
Yeah.
So I would have to trust the television.
I reckon Ray Price probably came through once. I'm going to give it to him. I remember being like way down at the Frio Rio, like southwest of San Antonio, and like, I'm telling you, man, there's like 2 buildings. There's nothing out there. And sure enough, on the side of that was Ray Price coming. I'm like, are you kidding me? This guy is making the rounds, man. I loved Ray Price. And I didn't mind Ernest Tubb. I learned appreciation through time with Junior, who was a big fan, obviously.
Well, here's a pop tune about the Bob Lazar story. It's like the B-52s at Area 51. That's what it is. Let's go ahead, fellas.
So gloves check, your goggles check, your oxygen tank. So let's get a radioactive. Let's get a radioactive. Let's get a radioactive. Sit deep within. You ask for. I took the bottle. So let's get a radioactive. Let's get a radioactive. Let's get a radioactive.
I find the most hippest words by the time we find they're not hip anymore, and then I use them in front of my teen daughter.
Right. And then you wear them out for like another 5 years.
And they're so embarrassed.
Like, what did I think I was talking to my wife about? I said, I haven't heard shiznit in a while. And I was like, does anybody, where did that go?
Shiznit is sus.
It might be. You're such an op, Dave. You're such an op. I don't know.
So what does the future look like for the Frank Mustard Project? What is it going to be when it grows up?
I don't know. You know what? We may have fleshed it out right now. It may be. Maybe it's going to be a YouTube show. The realities of touring, even without a family, is pretty difficult. So and a lot of us are everybody in the band, has families, and I imagine that'll keep us here in Austin. For the foreseeable future. So really, it's probably just grinding it out. Maybe, a little bit Central Texas, but primarily Austin. We'll balance off a hi-hat as long as they'll let us, and and then, as long as Hole in the Wall still exists and some of these places still exist, I'm sure we'll be trying to, play there.
Your merch?
We are working on it right now. We actually have what is going to be maybe the mustard mart.
Yeah.
Huh? I'm just trying that out right now. I think I might do a mustard mart, Get a few different designs. I've always had a few different drawings and logos, so I've got a fella helping us work on that right now. Because getting regular gigs is when you start to realize that can be fun, because then people start to come back and you can see it start to build, whereas forever we were so spotty. It was hard to build a momentum. It's like, yeah, we're playing here and we're local, but this, I think the residency idea is good because it can become, you're not wearing them out every week, and it can become a thing you do once a month and go have fun. And it's not a huge place, so you can get even 50 people in there, and it feels like a real massive thing, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Vortex Manipulator.
I never know who might be with Said that they know I won't be late. I've been aching.
vortex manipulator. Shoot.
I know I'd personally like to do a lot more recording because I've got a couple hundred songs that and we got 2 recorded, so not a great average.
It's tough anymore because you use good people when you record your music. Chris Burns, for instance, and
and
they don't work for
Sullivan,
free. Stewart, oh my God,
and, that was the Jelly Butter EP. Was like 10 years ago, and then before that, believe it or not, went out to I don't know if it had a name. It was Willie's place where his 9-hole golf course was out there off 71.
Yep.
And that studio is now Arlen's Studio B. That equipment, probably minus the plate reverb, but so it did and that was with Gordy Johnson and Jacob Skiva engineered it, and then so yeah. It's tough because there's the part of you that really wants to go old school and get in these places with all that gear and all that history, and then but the reality of it being just kind of a local guy is it's pretty unattainable financially in what they're needing, and it's not that they're gouging, it's just what it is for them too to even exist. The squeeze is on everybody at this point.
And then even when you create that, you're like at a gig, you're like, here's some CDs, just take one, please.
That's right. And the cost of that even, because you're trying to get legit, you're trying to offer product, but at the same time, you've pretty much maxed out every cent you are to do it. And so then you start cutting corners. Also led to Frank Mustard because I got really, really cheap equipment. I mean, like a Boss, what was it, like 8-track, on a zip disc. You remember zip discs?
Totally.
And honestly, it was a freeing moment because I could sit in my little tiny house in South Austin that's a McMansion now. And
the taxes say so.
It's crazy what happened in the Glinda neighborhood down there. When you're in trouble when your Popeyes becomes a Starbucks. You know what I mean? And then churches just don't even become nothing. It just closed it. It's like, oh.
A little song about the universe, fellas. Let's go ahead and do it.
I guess it's true, I'm the glue, I'm the what, I'm the who, I'm the culprit you never knew, I am the rainbow that turns the screw. For 32, for me and you, for 32. I built it up, I made it new. You see the stars, I did that too. I'm the moon, I'm your room. They're both the same, now get in tune. Yeah, for 32. For me and you. For 32. for 32. For me and you. For 32.
So, but anyway, yeah, it was freeing, and because then I stopped playing for others. I started just getting on the 8-track and seeing what is in there, playing instruments I never envisioned playing, all the way to doing some basic drums. We even called it the mustard beat because it was so basic, but it was so easily applicable to everything.
Love it.
I was doing it with a mallet, so just because I can't play drums, you know what I mean? Even got, do you remember Hector Munoz?
Sure.
From Alejandro? He was brave enough to even do it professionally and then added some electronics and some stuff, so it can be pro'd up is what I'm saying. And that's a lot of what it was. It wasn't meant to be the end-all be-all, but it was sure supposed to get the ball rolling on new concepts, but it's, you know, obviously it's rock and roll, but you know what I mean, it's not Chuck Berry, it was real sure to not have it be something that it already was, you know, totally. And that's crash and burn, but that's what it is.
I like Zoom products. They're cheap and very functional, so I think I saw your bass player using one.
The current bass player, yeah, he's into technology. And so he'll do all kinds of silly things with technology, of all kinds. He's an interviewer all on his own, you know what I mean? And then there's the wardrobe change that is many people's favorite part of the show. Is
revealing.
It is revealing. It's getting dangerous because honestly, it's really hard to get him off those boots. And there's a number of times where he's pretty much, the show might be just watching him fall.
That's great.
But it's sequined. And so, you know, entertainment one way or another is the goal.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
We all like wrestling, you know what I mean? Guys falling, it's just as good as music to me. I think it's fine.
I think you need to work in a place for a pierced face girl in the band,
yes,
and you'll never go away.
What they don't know is both the guys are out now, and they're gone. They'll learn through this interview that they'll both be replaced by by Girls with Studs.
There are worse ways.
And that's the name of the band now. It's Girls with Studs.
It's going places, I
It
swear.
is. And you're going to be upset because in about 2 weeks, we're going to be doing those big dome places that you're talking about. And I am absolutely never coming back here again. We're on our way, and and then they'll drop me and take the band, and I'll just be in litigation the rest of my life, probably.
Absolutely,
Right.
man. You'll be the guy who used to.
Another Austin success story.
You're watching CapZeyeZ, guys. I've been here. We're talking about, at Kickbutt, we're talking about the Frank Mustard Project. So if you have not baptized yourself in the Frank Mustard Project, I recommend you do so. And hit them up online. What's the best place to find you guys?
Well, we're everywhere, as you know. We have a website, thefrankmustardproject.com. And I guess we're on the Insta, we're on the Facebook. Technically got a YouTube, but I haven't got that in the way that I would like it, which would probably be with the help of Dave and maybe Jimmy, just a full-on production show like Curb Your Enthusiasm, or the Monkees,
Yeah.
No, but we're just out there on your basic social media and the website.
That's cool. So we hope it pleased Frank today, Frank Mustard
Absolutely.
Project.
Pleased, Frank. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for watching, you guys. Hit us up online if you want to get your band on the show. And many thanks to Kickbutt for letting us kick around in here. See you next time.
So bulletproof, it isn't you. Yeah, another year, that's exciting. Fooling you might be true. When you're all around me, and it's how fast will you attract? Well, you know all that reminds you, all I do, I always blue. Real Lord, that's it. So bulletproof, it isn't you. Yeah, another year, that's exciting. Fooling you might be true. When you're all around me, and it's how fast that you attract. Well, you know all that reminds you, and all that you always do. Feels fantastic.
Thank you, Kickbutt. Thank you to Dave. Thank you, CapZeyeZ.